Quack, quack. Why do we say quack, quack? Because we're talking about Scrooge McDuck. Eisner Award winner Don Rosa. This is, of course, put out by Boom when they were calling their kids line Kaboom. And I got this a few years ago. What this is basically Don Rosa took all of the inferences and references to the early days of Scrooge McDuck in the original Duck comics by Carl Barks. So anytime it mentioned Uncle Scrooge, and he went through and he put all the highlights together, and then this is the result of that, which is this story all about how Scrooge goes from being a little tyke to a tycoon, if you will. The story of Uncle Scrooge in Scotland. You can see Don Rosa he's still alive, I'm pretty sure. He's a master of the style. He really took the best things that Carl Barks did, and he put his own spin on it. They're different. They're two different artists, clearly, but the two best people, I think, to have drawn the ducks, the Disney ducks. Look at that. That's something. That's a beautiful panel. Papa warned me to stay away from here, but I cannot resist seeing Castle McDuck again. Probably a terrible accent, but who cares? You can see, I often like looking at these duck comics because they remind me of doing things with action, right? Like, as opposed to static shots. Like, here he's running, his feet are up off the ground, both of them, and here, like the cart and the horse, they're not touching the ground, they're implying speed. They're moving so hastily that the speed of it is causing all four wheels of this wagon and horse to come off the ground. You can see just this amazing stuff, and it's something I aspire to, definitely. These books, getting my figures down so much that I can knock those out and then do something, a background like this, something with this amount of intricate detail. And not every panel needs to be that detailed, right? Like, here we've got a simple background, some stuff in the foreground, but every panel in here has something to look at, something to give it depth. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Don Rosa probably had more time to put these together than Carl Barks may have in the past, but you can see just he really went all out for everything. See the hatching on these bricks, and this dude here. Lots of cool detail that helps me to try to break out of my two-dimensional thinking and get three-dimensional with different planes. So you have obviously a guy here, a guy just slightly behind him, you have a hill, a guy behind the hill, a guy even further behind the hill running away. You have the horse standing on top of the hill. You have these gravestones, all of which indicate distance away from the viewpoint, the camera, if you will, if you want to refer to it as that. And then this use of like foreground blacks, like having shadow figure in the front and then doing a bunch of detail in the back. And really cool stuff. If you guys haven't read this, I would recommend this is a good place to start with Duck Comics, because it really is a solid narrative flow through the life and times of Scrooge McDuck. There's a few volumes of it, and definitely worth it. And then after that, try to get some Carl Barks stuff. And then maybe some other time, we can look at this. Mickey Mouse Comics by Floyd Gottfredson. This stuff's great as well. Very different, but good. All right, that's it. Goodbye.